We got a special guest coming through today. He's already here and he brought a beautiful Frankenstein build. We're gonna check this thing out. I've yet to see this car in person and I cannot wait to surprise Evan with it. Check this thing out. It is TJ's 911. They just finished this car and it looks absolutely insane. I'm gonna get TJ out here to explain why it's a Frankenstein build, but this thing is so freaking cool. I cannot believe it's actually here.
Winnie?
All right, tell me.
It's my baby.
It looks so freaking good, first of all. I remember seeing this thing in your shop in pieces.
It was in 2 pieces and it was so destroyed.
So give me the rundown on this thing.
Okay, so I bought it crashed. So it was a weird build. This actually owned my friend Tommy. Tommy owned the car with the front end smashed in, and it had no seats, no drivetrain. So no engine, no transmission, no seats, front end wreck. I bought the chassis from him for a pretty good deal. It was like 48 grand. And I was like, cool. I have a GT3 chassis, 48 grand. And then I found a green 991.2 RS, completely totaled, but the drivetrain was still good. And the seats in it were still good. The car was written off. So I was like, I'm gonna buy, and I bought that car for like, I don't know, another 40 grand. So I was like, oh, for 80 grand, I could have a car. I just gotta put it all back together. So that was the idea. And then we started it, and I was gonna swap the PDK transmission on the RS in here, because this was originally a manual, but I bought the PDK. Started it, and then, you know, of course, you guys have done crash cars.
Yeah.
Way more damage than we thought.
Always is.
Rear was destroyed. We had to redo all of this stuff, and finding structural parts for Porsches are difficult because you can't buy structural components without a Porsche certified like dealer or whatever,
Yeah.
right? So I ended up buying a 911 Carrera, not a GT3 or a turbo or a GT3 RS tub, for a front end clip that put that up to it. Didn't fit because the GT cars actually have an extended fuel tank, believe it or not. The RS cars and the GT3 cars, because they get not as good fuel mileage, come with an extra 5 or 6 gallons. So then we had to scout some of our RS front tub onto the Carrera tub, build a 911 GT3 front tub, put that on, and then I forgot all the...
Oh yeah, you missed all that?
I forgot all that. And you know, was able to get the front end together, got an RS hood for it. The difference between the GT3 and the GT3 RS really is just the body. So the chassis is the same, all the arms and everything is the same, but the GT3 comes with aluminum, and the RS is all carbon fiber.
Yeah.
So once we put the front end together, I made a last minute decision to switch to a manual, because I was like, oh, we got to keep it manual. I've never had a manual 911. Sourced a brand new gearbox. There's only 3 available worldwide from Europe. Put that together and put the RS engine in the GT3. So it's an RS GT3 swap with a manual. So it's essentially a GT3 RS manual swap.
Sick.
In the 911. But I mean, everything's dialed, man. Like, for all the crash cars we build, usually there's like one thing at the end of the build that you're like, I can kind of notice this, you know what I mean? Like, there's one like gremlin that you can't figure out or rattle. This thing is 100% like, you guys could drive today and you would never know creaks. No, this thing rattles and creaks less than my RS I had.
Sick, yeah.
So
it looks so good. It's
just dialed. And then I got all the Manti Racing parts. So Manti Racing wing. We got the Manti Racing GT3 RS front cup lip, which all the Porsche nerds will see it. It's literally just a little bit wider and a little bit more aggressive. I scraped the shit out of it because I don't have a front axle lift. We did Olin's TTX coilovers, Dundon header exhaust, Manti Racing parts, and on the interior, we did some
it looks freaking beautiful, man.
OEM
looks so
material, red, white, checker houndstooth, did the armrest, roll cage in the back. I mean, it's pretty sick. And give me the phone, let me show you this little Easter egg. Because we tuned this car, we did a lot of work with trying to get the RS engine to work with the manual gearbox, because it doesn't just work. So when we were like tuning all the modules and stuff, we had the engine, or we had the ECU keep the RS logo.
That's sick.
Because it uses an RS ECU now.
Yeah.
But no check-in, like nothing. Like 100%
That is
factory.
so sick.
Everything about it just works. I kept the old floor mats from the green RS that we bought as a little like homage to it. But I mean, like, it's perfect.
Sick.
So this is
okay. So this might be a dumb question. I'm not big on Porsches. You can't buy a GT3 in this spec.
No.
With a manual box.
No,
so this is like a unicorn car.
yeah.
Kind of a
So
unicorn build.
the GT3 comes in manual and in PDK,
Yeah.
but this has the RS engine and the RS tune, so it makes more than a normal GT3
Yeah.
does by like 40 horsepower.
So if somebody wants this setup, this engine package with the tune, with the manual box, you just can't go out
You
and buy
can't do it, but this is a 991.2 era. So in the 991.2, they just came out with the 992s.
Yeah.
They made a very special 992 called the 911 ST, which is essentially this. It's a
Yeah.
GT3 with the RS engine with a manual gearbox. So
Yeah. So
this is like an ST before an ST. And then you got the valves, so you can hear the,
Oh yeah.
which is pretty cool.
So freaking sick. Sing to 9.
Oh yeah.
Is that what they're
It's rowdy.
So freaking sick.
I mean, and it's clean, man. Got the silver stitching.
Yeah.
Got a new wheel for it. The red. I mean, it's truly dialed.
Freaking trick.
I mean,
man.
it's-
I love it. I love the seats.
The-
seats are so nice.
Dude, the
Carbon
seats are
backs.
epic. If you want to buy these seats on the used market, they're like 20 grand.
Yeah. Oh,
Like, just the seats alone are like big money. So the fact that our green one was in a crash, but no airbags went off in the seat, it was still safe and considered safe. So we just reupholstered it, put the stitching, and did all like factory leather from Porsche. So it's
freaking
all
good.
genuine, and the gearbox on this car is like the most wild thing ever. It's so
Sick.
good.
Yeah.
Um,
I love how these Porsches sound with a manual box. Like the clutch pull, the rev up, all that stuff.
The
It sounds
downshifting
so freaking good.
is so crisp, and
Yeah.
it makes you feel like a hero. Like every downshift, the thing
Sick.
just is such a light flywheel.
Yeah.
It sings. I mean, it's a really special car. It's very cool, and you don't see a lot of them. So it's cool to have like the .2 GT3s. Not a lot of them came in manual spec because they
Yeah.
were only built when ordered. So they're out there, but these have a higher price value than the PDKs, obviously.
Yeah.
So very special, very cool. We got the car with like 14 or 15,000 miles on the chassis. So the 16.9 is the chassis, and then the 1.695 is how much I've put on the engine.
Sick.
So in 1,700 miles, absolutely zero drama. No issues, no
Cool.
check engine lights, no freaking out, no fault codes. Like, perfect, which is been really cool. So, I don't know.
This thing's rowdy.
I
man.
like it a
So
lot.
freaking good.
Yeah, and I had the purple RS, and I had this one. And I actually recently sold the purple one because something about the manual gearbox was awesome. And another nerdy Porsche fact is when you get the GT cars, you can option, even on the RS, you can option to have the steel brakes, or you can upgrade to the carbon ceramics.
Yeah.
Now, the steel brakes are a little bit smaller, but when you go smaller, you can fit a 19-inch wheel rather than the 20.
Yeah.
And when you go the 19, you can do the BBS E07s, E88s, which get you that like super meaty tire setup, which is more track setup. So the stance on this car is super good. The factory like Manti Racing upgrade aero just gives it a presence that the RSs can't achieve. Like this looks like more like a track car to me.
It does.
Which
What
I really like.
about it though is it's got hints of track car. It's not full blown. It's
Yep.
like, it looks like a nice clean street build, but it's got like little tiny hints
Yep.
in there.
Yep.
And the hood and the wing and all that stuff, but it's like doesn't have the big crazy. Like,
The
all
big like louvers and
diffuser. Like it looks like a proper street car.
yeah, like I love the RSs. Like, don't get me wrong, I've owned two of them, but after owning two of them and this one, the .2 comes with a better engine. It has more mid-range, makes more torque, revs a little bit higher, and the manual gearbox is kind of what sold me on it.
It looks classy.
Thank
Looks
you.
Very classy.
Man, I mean, dude, I daily this car every day.
Yeah.
I find myself gravitating to this when I'm like, what do I want to drive today?
Yeah.
It's 9 times out of 10 has been this, and I haven't been bored of it yet.
Oh, dude.
Guards red.
Yeah.
It's tough to beat. I mean, just, I don't know, man. It's good. And we did the GT3 MR gold badging, which was like really cool. A lot of guys who like don't know what it is are like, what's a GT3 MR? And then you kind of have to explain the Manti Racing bit, and
Yeah.
kind of gets lost in translation a little bit. But it's one of those like, if you know what you're looking at, you're like, that's cool. Don't see it a lot. it's pretty special. So, yeah, it's very cool. Evan hasn't seen it yet. No one here has really seen it other than Nate.
This is the first time I've seen it, so
Yeah.
maybe we go surprise him.
Yeah.
Oh, Becky!
Yes,
I got a surprise for you, brother.
What's this? Did you get a new car? Is this yours? No, it's not. This is Porsche key. Did you really get a Porsche, Quinn? Is it here? No freaking way, dude. Where is this? What is this? This is something new. This is newer than 997 because they didn't do keys like this. This is like Rick's key. Here?
It's in the garage out front.
Oh! What is this? TJ give me the car or what? Man,
No, I
I
wish.
haven't even seen this in person.
No, he brought it by.
Dang, I have yet to see this in person, just on video. Wow.
It looks so good.
Dude, the seats are sick. This is manual. Ugh. Wow, this is dope. Wait, where's TJ here?
Yeah, he's here.
Oh.
He's hiding, but he's here.
Dude, this is gnarly. Where's it? Over? Let me see what this is.
Oh, it sounds so freaking good.
This is sick. Dude, this gearbox is amazing. Do you know if this is factory or not?
It's factory, I think it's a GT2 or a GT3 factory trans. He said he bought a new one.
Oh,
Like a new one from Porsche.
This is sick.
The rear seat delete's really
This
nice
is-
on it. The cage setup, the finish
This is
on
like
this car
a
is beautiful.
GT3 RS engine, GT3 body. Damn. No check engine lights, Tej. Good shit.
He said this is the most dialed car he's ever put together.
Really?
Like no squeaks, no creaks, nothing. Just perfect.
I drove TJ's purple car.
He said it squeaks less than the purple car.
The purple car was awesome. It was really, really nice. Like I don't really have any complaints. Like I don't know what you can complain about a 991 GT3 RS, but I'm wondering how this compares, and I'm really wondering how the gearbox is. So, dang. Where's Tej?
I don't know. Let's go find him.
What up, dude?
Too much horsepower for you.
Dude, thanks pretty
You
quick.
still know how to drive manual?
Haven't
or what?
turned. What is this?
Dude.
Look at this hair.
Dude, it's undercover. It's under construction right now.
You reporting in?
Yeah, I'm clocking in for the day. You know,
There you go.
side gig.
Yeah.
I miss it here.
Let me go.
You
Let me
want to
go
drive
take
it?
it for a drive. Yeah, I do. Yeah, let's go.
I want you to drive it. It's
Do you see shop in there?
no,
Yeah, I'll go
not
through here.
since I've been there.
Oh wait, I can't show everything. Hold on.
What? I haven't been. I was here like a month ago, and it was just all the car.
I might not be able to show the clips. This is a clips channel.
Whoa.
I can't really show too much, but so don't say what you see exactly. That looks familiar. It's the same exact spot, and then that also should look familiar. What's in there, and then it's very similar. And then you see what this is and what that is.
Oh my god! I can't wait to see.
Yeah,
that one.
so that's currently being repaired. But that is for another video.
That's dollar
So-
bills right there. That's
It
a
is,
scary
it
one.
is. All right, let me cut to the next clip where I can drive this thing. I really like the interior. So these are the stock seats, but then you had them redone, or the whole thing had to get
So
redone?
these came out of the crashed green RS I bought.
Okay, so they did redo the whole seat then?
Yeah. So we did
Oh.
OEM. So all this is actual Porsche material, the houndstooth and on the leather.
Oh, really?
So it's redone, but it's all with their OEM.
Yeah, it looks really, really good.
Someone stopped the clip from rolling, so
Well, it never recorded
they're gonna
in the
run it
beginning.
back. They're gonna run it back. This is your first drive ever.
This is my second drive of TJ's GT3. What do you call it? GT3 MR.
Yeah.
So this interior you had redone because I remember the car that you bought is like green interior or something, green stitching on everything.
Well,
I
it's a
see
green-
the floor mat
I
still
kept
got
the
green.
formats. Yeah, so all the only things out of the green RS that we bought was the engine, some of the structural components in the front, the seats, and the floor mats.
Okay. But these were redone.
Yes.
With like, I love the pattern.
The leather and the houndstooth is all from Porsche.
Dope.
So
yeah, it looks
all work.
really, really good.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Guards red key for you.
Yes. Guards red. You know what we need to get? The 2 guards red Porsches together.
I
Ricks.
know. I was hoping it was gonna be here.
The clutch isn't so bad. It's pretty straightforward. This is a GT3 body with an RS engine, but a GT3 transmission.
Yes.
So this is like this never existed then, or did this exist in like the, what they call it, the ST or like?
So the 992 ST that came out is essentially this.
Wow.
Yeah. But I mean, the RS engine and the GT3 stuff are like relatively the same. There's a few cooling ports we had to change on the RS block to get it to work with this. Some of that could have been, you know, it was extra like cooling ports and you know, things like that for the PDK transmission.
But I know you had a lot of like ECU related.
That
like,
was
you
the
had to
biggest
ship
nightmare.
stuff out
We had probably
all
2
that.
months of trying to crack the ECU because this uses an RS ECU, but it has to be like jailbroken with every other module in the car so they all can communicate properly.
Oh man, this sound is so good. And I drove your purple car,
Yeah.
GT3 RS, and I feel like this sounds better. And I haven't even got on it really at all, but
This overall, everybody agrees that this sounds better because the .2 engine is slightly different than the .1.
Okay.
This has way more mid-range, revs higher, a little more high-pitched. It's just a better engine.
I will never get used to how good that is.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's cool like driving a car that's like, you know, puts down supercar lap times in a manual transmission.
100%. Like, from a fun factor, I don't know if it gets better than this. This is one of the reasons why I bought my G80 M3 in a manual, just because it's fun. It's not like I get automatic or PDK is definitely faster around a track, but most of the time you're not on the track, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Then that was a selling point for me on my RS to this, because the RS is PDK, was I'm driving them on the street most of the time and I track my RS a fair amount, but you know, even still. And that's the problem with it, is it like, you're encouraged to drive it so fast because it's so calm in here. You get the sense that the car is so planted that, you know.
Gives you a lot of confidence for sure. This, I know you were telling me off camera, like, you have this suspension really aggressive, and I feel like this would be so much fun at a track, but it's really not bad, and it's very comfortable. Like, the seats, I think, are actually just as comfortable as my G80 M3 seats. Like,
Yeah, that's
you could daily this car.
no, and I do daily this car. The alignment right now is set up with an aggressive amount of toe, and you have a little bit of camber to fit the EO7 wheels we have in there, but with the Öhlins TTX coils, I mean, it's very bumpy, it's very aggressive over not smooth roads, which you kind of pay for a little bit, but when you're on a smooth road or on a canyon, the aggression that it's set up is very paid off.
Definitely not bad. Is the same interior as your other car, pretty much?
Yeah. The difference, which is awesome, is the .2 comes with Apple CarPlay, and you get a backup camera on .2s and .1s. They never gave you a backup camera, even though it was like
I feel like almost every Porsche looks this 911 at least looks the same on the inside. Like Rick's 992, very similar, a little more modernized, but like overall. Oh, so did you added the cage?
The cage came with the car.
Cage came,
and we kept it.
Damn, that's sick.
Yeah.
I love all the suede. And no 911s come with sunroofs, do they? Or no?
Not GTs.
The GT cars. No.
Yeah. Turbo S's, I'm sure you can do it, and everything else you can, but GT cars, you don't really have many options other than performance options.
And the drivetrain is just amazing. That is fun, man. And the shifter.
That shifter is super aggressive. It's super short going into the even gears.
Good.
Yeah.
So freaking good.
making me a believer, T.
I've been trying to get Ev to get a Porsche for so long, and he hasn't done it yet.
Well, we were talking about this, like, so Rick, my brother, we just finished his 964, and Rick's always been into older Porsches. He did get a 992, like a 992S, but it's PDK, and I've never driven a proper Porsche 6-speed that's like a modern. I haven't even driven Kevin's car yet.
Oh, wow.
And I've heard 997 is awesome, and this, I would assume, is just like a better version of that.
Yeah, it is. So 991 is considered like the last generation where it's very analog. And then when you get to 992, it's so good, it's bad.
Yeah.
Not bad, but you know what I'm saying.
But, like,
it's become so numb.
I feel like the, I don't know, the misconception, at least that I always heard about GT cars is they're so good that they're really boring. And
Yeah.
I, like, compared to, let's say, a Ferrari or Lamborghini that's maybe a little more dramatic or whatever, but this is dramatic, dude. And this being a manual, this is so much
That's where it's
fun.
like, if you want that to get rid of the boringness, if you get the GT3 rather than the RS, get the manual. But for sure, there is a level of it's so good it's boring. But it's one of those things, like, you drive one, you're like, wow, that was really great, but like da 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 da, and then a month goes by and you see one on the road and you're like reminded of the experience. You're like, oh, I kind of want that. I don't
This
know.
is epic, dude.
It grows
Thank you.
on
I
you.
miss you, man.
I
You used
do.
to come by here with all these cool cars all the time, and now we got.
When I stopped back in here, I was talking to the guys. I'm like, dude, I just miss the way this place smells. Like, I was like, if I was blindfolded, I'd be like, oh, I'm at the shop.
Some of the smells are not so great coming out of here.
Well,
but,
maybe not all of them.
Thank
but
you for coming by. dude.
Yeah,
Good seeing
it
you.
feels good to come by here. I always find an excuse, but she's a beauty.
E-brake doesn't work if the car's on.
Just
It's in first.
you can leave it in first.
All right. Hopefully that recorded.
This one recorded.